Ladd was a real Hollywood star whose work spanned many years. He was a great actor who was known for giving great performances and making his roles come to life on screen. For Ladd, it all started in the 1930s, and he quickly rose to fame during Hollywood's golden age. People who like classic movies still talk about his roles in movies like This Gun for Hire and Shane. He worked with Veronica Lake to make the film more of a genre. There was tragedy in Ladd's personal life, and he struggled with addiction. But his work in Hollywood goes on. In this video, we'll look at Alan Ladd's life and work, including how he became famous, how he changed the movie business, and what he left behind in the world of movies. Chapter 1. Early Life and Work. Alan Ladd was born in Hot Springs, Arkansas on September 3, 1913. Alan Ladd, Sr., his dad, was a self-employed accountant, and his mother, Ina Raleigh Ladd, ran the household. Ladd grew up in several U.S. towns such as Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and North Hollywood, California. Ladd became interested in playing when he was young and often took part in school plays. But after high school, Ladd found it hard to make a living as an actor, so he did a lot of different jobs like selling cars and working as a laborer. Ladd moved to Hollywood in 1932 and got a job as a grip at Warner Bros. Studios. He finally got a job as a bit player and had a few small parts in movies like Citizen Kane and Tom Brown of Culver. Ladd had some early success, but it was hard for him to become a main man. His height of 5'5" and lack of conventional good looks made him too short to be a leading man, so he was often cast in supporting parts. The movie This Gun for Hire, which came out in 1942, was Ladd's big break. In the movie, Ladd played the lead part of a hitman named Raven, and both critics and audiences liked how he did. The movie helped Ladd get his start as a main man and made his career possible. In the 1947, Ladd went on to star in a number of hit movies, such as The Glass Key, 2 Years Before the Mast, and Whispering Smith. He quickly became one of the most famous leading men in Hollywood. He often starred with Veronica Lake, an actress, because they got along so well. Ladd stayed humble and grounded throughout his career, even though he was very successful. He was known for how professional he was on set and how much he cared about his job. The next part will talk about Ladd's success in Hollywood and how he became one of the most well-known actors of his time. Part 2. Success in Hollywood. Alan Ladd has been successful in Hollywood because he is talented, works hard, and has good luck. In this chapter, we'll talk about how Ladd became famous, how well he worked with Veronica Lake, and some of the most famous movies he was in. In This Gun for Hire, Ladd's big break came when he played the lead part. This set him up for future success in Hollywood. A lot of people liked him right away, and his movies did really well at the box office. Ladd was up for an Academy Award for Best Actor in 1943 for his part in The Pied Piper. Many people in Hollywood liked Ladd because of how well he got along with Veronica Lake. They were in a number of movies together, such as This Gun for Hire, The Glass Key, and Saigon. People really liked them together, and they became one of the most famous on-screen couples in Hollywood. Besides working together with Lake, Ladd also played lead roles in a number of movies that helped him become a big Hollywood star. He played the lead role in the Western movie The Great Gatsby in 1949, which did well at the box office and with critics. He also played with Veronica Lake in the more classic movie The Blue Dahlia. Ladd's most well-known part was in the 1953 movie Shane. Ladd played the lead role in the movie, which was a retired gunfighter who gets caught up in a fight between homesteaders and cattle lords. A lot of people liked Ladd's performance in the movie, and it became one of his most famous parts. Ladd's work had its ups and downs, even though he was successful. He had a hard time with Hollywood and often had disagreements with studio leaders. He also had problems with alcoholism, which hurt both his personal and business life. By the 1950s, Ladd's work had slowed down, and it was hard for him to find roles that fit him. He kept acting in movies all through the decade, but he wasn't as famous as he used to be. In the 1960s, Ladd moved on to TV and was in a number of famous shows, such as Bonanza and The Rifleman. Ladd has left a big mark on Hollywood. During Hollywood's golden age, he was a big star and he helped make the film noir genre what it is today. People still remember how much they liked working with Veronica Lake. People still like the way he played roles in movies like Shane and The Blue Dahlia. Alan Ladd's success in Hollywood came from his skills, his hard work, and some lucky breaks. Some of his most famous parts came in some of the most important movies of his career, and he worked hard at his craft, which made him one of Hollywood's most popular leading men. The third chapter, Personal Life and a Terrible Death. In Alan Ladd's personal life there was sorrow and abuse of alcohol. We will talk about Ladd's personal life, his struggles with addiction, and his untimely death in this part. Ladd got married for the first time to Marjorie Jane Harold in 1936. They had 2 kids together, Alan Jr. and David, before they split up in 1941. Then in 1942, Ladd married his second wife, the actress Sue Carroll. Alana was their son together, and stayed married until Ladd died. Ladd had problems with alcoholism throughout his career, which hurt both his personal and business life. He was known to drink a lot on set, which sometimes made things awkward between him, his co-stars, and the crew. The fact that Ladd was addicted also caused his first marriage to end. Even though he was having problems, Ladd stayed dedicated to his job and kept acting in movies and TV shows throughout the 1950s and 1060s. But his health and well-being kept getting worse because of his problem. Was discovered dead in his home in Palm Springs on January 29, 1964. He was 50 years old. This person died because they were drunk and had an acute brain edema. Ladd's death shocked his family, friends, and fans, and it ended a career that had lasted for many years. Fans of old movies still talk about Ladd's acts, which are part of his legacy in Hollywood, but his sad death is a warning of how dangerous addiction is, and how much damage it can do to people and the people they love. In his personal life, Alan Ladd dealt with sorrow and drug abuse. His struggles with alcoholism affected both his personal and business life. His family, friends, and fans were shocked when he died too soon at age 50. Even though he had a hard life, Ladd is still remembered and honored in Hollywood today. People all over the world are still moved and entertained by his shows. Chapter 4 is about Alan Ladd's impact. Alan Ladd left a big mark on Hollywood, and people still talk about how he changed things. This part will talk about Ladd's effect on Hollywood and the lasting things he did for the movie business. Films like Gun for Hire, The Glass Key, and Shane, in which Ladd stars, helped make him a big star in Hollywood. The golden age of Hollywood was when he was at the top of his game, and his relationship with Veronica Lake helped to create the film noir genre. People who like old movies still admire Ladd's work, and you can see his impact in the work of modern actors. Ladd became a respected figure in Hollywood because he worked hard at his job and put on great shows. People knew him for being professional and ready to put in a lot of work to make his characters come to life. Because Ladd worked hard at his job, he became one of Hollywood's most famous leading men. Ladd has had an effect on the movie business in more ways than one. He was one of the first people to use independent production company, which gave actors and directors more freedom to be creative with their work. Jaguar Productions, Ladd's independent production business, made a number of his movies, including Shane. Ladd also left behind elements to the film noir genre. His roles in movies like This Gun for Hire and The Glass Key helped to define the genre and pave the way for many further great film noirs. Ladd made a mark on Hollywood, but he was also a generous person who helped many good causes during his lifetime. The people in his neighborhood knew him for being kind and willing to help others. In the end, Alan Ladd left a big mark on Hollywood, and his impact can still be felt today. Fans of old movies still love his roles, and he had an effect on the movie business that went beyond what he did on screen. Ladd was one of the most respected and loved people in Hollywood because he worked hard at his job, added to the film noir genre, and helped others.